need that monitoring, we need resilient communities, so capacity building in that regard. But also we've seen with extreme weather events around the world that health systems are often very ill prepared for extreme weather events, and I suspect the same is broadly true in Australia. So there's recommendations in here about developing the climate resilience of health services so that they are able to respond when an extreme weather event happens. And part of that is involving governments at all levels, national, state and local governments, involving civil society, researchers, the private sector. All of those groups can come together. Well, in actual fact, I think we're quite proud actually of the process that we went through in developing this, which I think is extremely replicable in countries of different sizes and different political backgrounds. So the original idea came from the organisation that I mentioned earlier, the Climate and Health Alliance, but we recognised that if we developed it on our own, it would lack any real impact. The need for a strategy like this, or a framework like this, to encourage the Australian government to be much more active in these fields, to recognise the devastating health effects of climate change, the need for a health sector that's prepared for it, and the fact that, frankly, people are very, very interested in health. Once they recognise the health effects of climate change, individuals are very motivated to take action on it. This framework does provide the opportunity to encourage the Australian government to be much more ambitious in developing its NDCs than it was that it put to Paris in 2015, and also to be more active internationally, working with others, perhaps, as I mentioned earlier, helping Pacific nations to develop their climate plans. And also, we recognise that funding is required for this, and that money must be made available within Australia to fund things like this, although the evidence is that money spent now will be a lot less than money spent on responding to the terrible health effects of climate change. That will cost a lot more than taking mitigation action now.